Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be back on the show. Today's Saturday, the 16th of February. I'm here with some guests tonight, and we're going to have a wonderful show. I'm going to be introducing my guests, and we're going to have a wonderful evening. So if you have the time now, you can call a friend and let them know that the show is on. We're live and direct. And if you have someone that's abroad and you want them to join us, just tell them to go to www.jtvlive.net, and you can join us on the internet, and we can have such a nice dialogue tonight that everyone will be talking about it next week. So I'm going to go right ahead and ask my guests to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the lady, of course. You know, we usually honor women around, so we're going to go with the lady first, Doc, and then we'll come back to ourselves.
Good evening, listening audience. My name is Nona Vanterpool. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Rotown, and this year I'm the chair for the annual Health and Cultural Exposition. So I'm here to discuss a few particulars about that event.
Okay. And Dr.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
My name is Dr. Ogai Oyahire of the Rotary Club of Rotown. I am representing here on behalf of the club as an optometrist.
Great. So just to let everyone get a feel for what we're talking about, February 23rd, which is next week's Saturday, the Noah Lloyd Positive Action Pack is going to come alive, and it's going to have a health and cultural exposition, as you see up there. It's the 13th annual. We've been doing this for 13 years. And it says right on the screen that you could see, let's stop diabetes in its tracks. And that is the theme, and that is what we're going to be pushing very hard tonight. The idea of screening people properly and having our entire community become more aware of this deadly disease and some of the things that you could put in place to, you know, get early warning signals and how to deal with, you know, how to manage. I think so. So Doug, I'll let you go ahead and start talking a bit about it. We're going to have an open show, by the way. So while we're conversing and while we're giving out information, if there is anyone in the community that wants to speak directly to us, you're free to do so as well. The numbers will be up on the screen very soon. There they are, the 300-1949 for those persons who are going to call, and at 300-1950 for the people who are going to text in. So go right ahead, Doc. Let's talk business. Let's let the public know a little bit more about some of the problems that, you know, from your experience and from dealing with various community issues that you've seen that leads up to this deadly disease, that we can, you know, put things in place. And of course, you know, by the healthcare professionals that are going to be working with us on February 23rd, there are going to be some screening in place that will be able to help citizens, ordinary citizens that come up free of charge. I might mention free of charge. There's no charge on February 23rd. Absolutely free. So let's talk a little bit about it so that the general public will get an idea of what we're talking about.
All right, good evening again. Let me introduce myself a little bit more. I am Dr. Ogai Oyahire, an optometrist. I've been practicing optometry for the past 12 years now, and I've had the opportunity to now come to the BVI to throw a little more expertise of my knowledge to share it with the people. And as it is now, we are using the platform of the Rotary Club, which I am a member of, to bring a health fair screening to the general public. And through this program, we intend to really reach out, because diabetes is one of the very plaguing problems in our society, and it has seemed to become a menace. And in my practice in Totola in the last 1 year, I realized that you have a lot of type 2 diabetes, which means it's not really congenital. That means a lot of them are acquired. And what could be responsible for that? Lifestyle, basically, and our diet. And also in my 1 year of practice as an optometrist here on the island, I've gotten to realize that in a month you get 1 or 2 very serious cases of people with diabetes. And this is really a problem that really needs to be tackled, because a lot of people are still lackadaisical about it, trying to go about to really know what the problem is with them. And I think this is very important, why this screening is really coming into effect. Because for a lot of people who might have an excuse, or who might feel stigmatized going to an institution to get their health check and all that, we want to use this program to really reach you. And it says somewhere on the flyer says it's confidential. On the poster that was just brought out there is a confidential screening, not just for the selected items, but you have an opportunity to do your selected screening to know exactly what the problem is. And diabetes is not something you just play around with, even for having it, because I know in my hand I've had some very serious cases of diabetes this year, and it's just so worrisome the way people are so careless about it. When they know they have diabetes, there are certain things you need to do. And even if it runs in your family, go to the healthcare practitioner, do a health screening, and in my capacity as an optometrist, you're free to come and get your eye examined. Of course, we are going to do a free screening on that day. Thereby, you probably will know one thing or the other that you need to do further, which requires you to do a comprehensive eye examination. This is very important for us to do every year, once every year. Because with this, I've had people with serious bleeding, serious damages as a result of diabetes. Then you talk about cataract. These are all cataract and glaucoma. These are all as a result of this same diabetes we are talking about. So, but how can we fight cataract and glaucoma when we are not dealing with the diabetes proper? So I think as the program goes on, we'll be able to educate you a lot more on how we need to go about this.
Well, Doc, you've really touched a serious point there, and I know one of the things that I've been hearing about diabetes as well is that it's more prevalent in our race, in the Black Caribbean type people, rather than the European Caucasian type people. So just for that reason alone, I think we should pay more attention to it, since we are more in line to be affected by it in our community.
Just to add this, if I wanted to compare here with, let's say, Nigeria, for example, in terms of our diet and all that,
yes,
I look at the diets people eat here, they seem to be a lot more healthier, but it is the way these diets are being taken, because a lot of the food that you find around here is a lot of oils and all that, and these are the things that could easily contribute to this diabetes we are talking about. And most people have gone a lot westernized. They don't cook anymore, they eat all sort of garbage, and these are the main things that are causing this. That's why I said you find more type 2 diabetes, which is in a select age group other than the young people. So it's not really congenital, it's more within our lifestyle, it's more associated to our lifestyle, and that's really something that we need to really look at.
Okay. Well, just to let everyone know a little bit more about the program that we're speaking about is the Health and Cultural Expo, and it has been going on now for the past 13 years. And just so everyone would know, we have a great president in Trevor Grant. He's a president of the Rotary Club of Road Town, and with a theme of people, including Nona, who is sitting here right next to me here. She's leading the theme, and the entire team is committed to pulling off a well organized and well participated, everything. I mean, it's going to be a lot of professional people out there on Saturday, and they're going to be screening for a number of different things, and we're really hoping that people from all sectors of the community would come out. Those guys in the construction industry, people who normally work during the weekend can't find the time to take the test during the week. Here we are going to be out there on Saturday, and that's a good opportunity for you to take a little time for yourself. Bring a loved one, bring a family member, bring your cousin or your another relative that that wouldn't normally be able to get there. Bring the kids as well. Bring people out, and as the good doctor said, screening is very important, because if you get that early warning, it's much better than having to suffer the consequences after. We know some of the consequences after that, because we are also in the business of we've provided now, I think it's 2 dialysis machines for the hospital, okay, and that is the other end of the spectrum. When you don't manage diabetes and stuff like that, you end up you can end up having to be involved with dialysis, and that's very expensive.
Yeah, true. Just to add again to what he said, looking at this trend, you find out that the people this diabetes has actually targeted are people in their 40s,
okay,
and they have a good life ahead of them.
Okay.
So if they go blind as a result of complications from diabetes,
yes,
which is either the cataract, we look at cataract as an easy procedure that is taken out, fine, but what about the damage that it has caused to the back of the eyes?
Yes.
Those damage result in bleeding, you see blood in your vision, you start to see blurry and all that. When you start getting to that stage, the doctor barely can do much.
Yes.
So that is why this screening is really important. And as a club, we are not just targeting that eye screening. It encompasses every aspect of our well-being. So I think it's very important that people should come out and embrace this laudable opportunity.
Yes.
Can I just share some of the testing that's going to be going on Saturday? Definitely the first one, blood glucose. We're going to be doing that screening, and that's one of the screenings that, well, that's usually the longest line every time we do this testing. The second longest line is the screening for cholesterol testing. So we're also going to be doing that on Saturday. We're going to be checking your height, your weight. We're also going to be having we're going to have people making presentations on AIDS awareness. We're also going to have one new exhibit this year. The University of the Virgin Islands is going to be on site, basically educating us on how to clean our houses and our surroundings and our environment using healthy alternatives to the chemicals that we use today. So I'm really looking forward to that, to that particular exhibit, because we really have to, in addition to being concerned about our health is also tied to our environment. So I think that one would be very interesting. Our testing, some of our testing, we're going to be doing pap smears. They'll be done at BNF facility. We want to say a great big thank you to them for allowing us to do this year after year. And we couldn't really do this unless we had the help of so many other organizations. I don't want to name all of them, but the Diabetes Association, I think, needs special mention for the work that they do with all these diabetes cases that we have here on island. And like Courtney said, we've already donated, I think it's at least 4 dialysis machines.
Okay.
And we're working on donating 2 more. Yes. But what we need to do is start working more on prevention. Let's prevent diabetes instead of you know, adding all these machines. Let's eat healthier, let's exercise.
Lifestyle changes.
Yes, lifestyle changes.
Encourage lifestyle changes.
Healthy lifestyle changes.
Oh yes, definitely healthy. I'm glad you mentioned about the university coming to look at that issue. I am one of those people who you know, advocate that type of change. That's a cultural change for us as well, because we're accustomed to, you know, using a lot of products that you buy in the supermarket to do cleaning, rather than using a lot of natural and biodegradable substances to do household cleaning. So I'm glad that
Yes.
is being addressed, because it will sensitize persons to, you know, some of those issues that arises from, you know, from having, you know, the air, the atmosphere filled up with these chemicals. And the damage it can
does, yes.
it can
It does to us and our environment.
to us and the environment. Yes. So
The gentleman that's going to be making a presentation is Mr. Dale Morton.
Well, Dale Morton,
Dale Morton, yes.
Yes, that's a colleague of mine.
And I was speaking to him the other night, and he said one of the things he'll be discussing is, you know, how we would wash our dishes and throw a little bit of Clorox in the water.
Yes.
You know, there's an alternative to that, because Clorox could be very harmful if used in large quantities. But an alternative is to, instead of doing the Clorox, throw in a little white vinegar, and it deodorizes, it cuts the grease, and it does pretty much what the Clorox would do, but it's a healthier alternative.
Okay.
So that's just one of the things that he'll be discussing with us on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to that. In addition to Mr. Morton, we have a herbalist. You know, back in the day, our forefathers would use bush, and as prevention and as cures, but we've pretty much gone away from that, and now we're coming back to it, because we're seeing a lot of side effects to the mainstream medicines that we use today. And personally, I like the home remedies. You know, I personally like the home remedies. I still like bush tea and, you know, those types of things. And
okay,
I would like to see us, you know, become more aware of the types of herbs and what they were used for in the past, and what we can continue to use them for today and going forward.
That's good. That's good. So we're going to be hearing from herbalists, and we're also going to be hearing from Dale Morton, which is pretty good. That's you know, bridging the gap right there, I think.
Yes,
you know,
and that's in addition to the normal tests that we do every year, the blood glucose, the cholesterol. We still will be doing those things, but we just want to add a little more to the mix this year. And it's not just a health fair, it's a health and cultural expo, so we'll have entertainment as well. We'll have environmental exhibits. We'll have Bruce the Mongoose teaching the kids not to litter, things like that. We'll have performances by students from our adopted schools. We have 2 adopted schools, the Enos Adams and the one in Seacoursville. What's that?
The Ebenezer
Thomas School.
Yes.
So we'll be having performances by students from both those schools.
And if I may add that we're going to have the whole family of Rotary.
Yes,
we're going to have the Interact, the Rotaract, the Orliac, and
Rotarian. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to have a whole family of Rotary, and the families.
Yes, and the spouses.
And the families
and
of
significant others.
Right. So it's going to be when I mentioned our good president, Trevor Grant, I didn't finish it. What I wanted to say was that this year's theme is peace through service. And that is one of the things we're going to be promoting as well, is the idea that, you know, by educating and doing other things, by, you know, actually serving, we can promote peace in the world, rather than, you know, going towards conflict, but rather going towards a more peaceful place where we all can live better and healthier. Doctor, healthier?
Of course.
Okay.
And there's so much we have to celebrate, because on Saturday as well,
Yes.
the Rotary organization internationally will be celebrating its 108th birthday.
Right.
So that's 108 years that we have been serving or providing service, worldwide. And I think that's commendable, extremely commendable. And then we have another thing to celebrate. This year, we have our district governor, first district governor.
Oh yes, that's
from
right.
from the BVI. So that deserves honorable mention.
We need to probably say a little more than that, though. We have to say that we have our first district governor, and it's District Governor Vance Lewis. And in addition to that, we're having the district conference right here in Tortola. We're going to have the district conference, which is going to be a big affair for Rotary, where we're going to invite Rotarians from as far away as the Bahamas in the north, and all the way down to, I think it's how far down we go, all the way down to Trinidad. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So we're going to have a number of persons coming to our shores, and of course there's the various committees that are going to ensure that they have entertainment, plenary sessions, training, a whole lot of different things are going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we reached to that point in the show where the sponsors that make this show possible are begging for time, so we're going to pause now, and we're going to be right back with you.
Yo, you ain't checking for me no more, man. What going on?
Girl, you're right, man. Things rough right now and ain't getting no better. I gotta cut back how things so expensive.
Wait, you ain't hear Digicel giving away some serious credit? With Digicel, when you top up by $15, you will get $100 free credit. I mean, that's 100 anytime Digicel minutes, free chat all weekend long to your Digicel friends, and unlimited text to any network.
Wow! Now with Digicel, I can save and we can party some more.
Party Rock is in the house tonight.
Your credit lasts longer with Digicel. Now that's something worth partying about.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with you tonight, and I have two wonderful guests, two fellow Rotarians from the Rotary Club of Rotown, and we're here discussing the Health Expo and cultural activity that's going to happen at the Noah Lloyd Positive Action Park on February 23rd, which is next Saturday, a Saturday from today. Yeah. So, I want everyone to really focus on, penning that date in your calendar and telling a friend, tell a family member, bring an uncle or aunt, bring the kids. But we're really trying to make a push in the community and get more people tested for a number of health issues. And we definitely, my guests are here, they're in the same vein that I'm in, that we're going to try very hard to, and I'm forgetting the most important part of this thing, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for eye examination, you don't have to pay for none of the health screening you would have to pay for. It's a community service that's being offered by the Rotary Club of Rotown, especially for you, the community members in this community that we live in. So, Doc, we were having a little discussion while we were talking there, so we could continue with that. You could give out some more information about diabetes and some of the areas of concern in our community.
Okay, like I was saying earlier, there are different types of diabetes. You have the type 1 diabetes, which is normally hereditary. And for parents who have diabetes and all that, there is every tendency that their children it will be passed on to their children. So in that case, you have to always do regular screening for your children as well. And some of those screening is the regular blood sugar, and there is this test which is called the HbA1c. This HbA1c gives you a more detailed and in-depth result, in the sense that it gives you a 3-month read of if you are actually controlling the sugar adequately or you are not. The regular morning screening, fasting and all that gives you an idea for you to keep tab on it. But when you get to see a professional like us, we normally will ask for the HbA1c because this is a bit more in-depth. You could have a normal sugar of about, say, 110, and when you do the HbA1c, you might be reading somewhere, because the HbA1c has a range. If it's less than 6, it's still okay, but if it's greater than 6, that means something is wrong. The sugar is not properly controlled. Then you have the type 2, which I was passionately speaking about earlier, which has to do with our lifestyle, our eating habits, and all that. So this is quite more common, and it's actually the acquired type of diabetes. And obviously this can actually be gotten rid of. Then you have the gestational type of diabetes, of course, that you get during pregnancies. And most times after the pregnancy, you don't find it anymore, but you are still susceptible to getting it, so you have to always do the routine check. And other than that, since through the Rotary Club of Road Town, having the opportunity to bring this screening to you, this is just a screening exercise that will tell the entire populace or the people who actually come out. And we're actually calling people because we have taken time, energy and resources to put this program together, and it definitely can go to waste. So we are actually calling people to come out and tap into it. Whatever the outcome of the results or the screening exercise, you will be referred to the appropriate specialist. And in my capacity here as an optometrist, for anyone we find who has some cases of early signs of diabetes, we will advise you to do a comprehensive eye examination.
Yes. And
this comprehensive eye examination entails a lot, which we normally call a dilated examination, where drops is normally put when you come to the eye clinic and we put drops in your eye. It's for us to look at the background of the back of the eye. When we look at the background, it gives us an idea. And optometrists, I think, they are so blessed in the sense that they can look at your blood vessels without cutting through to see whether the blood vessels are in good health or not. So by looking into your eye through that procedure without cutting through with our advanced equipment, we could tell what changes are actually taking place to the back of your eyes. And if these diabetes have actually taken a toll on you, it definitely will reveal itself. And you have cases of bleeding which have actually gone out of hand, and these are what you call diabetic retinopathy. These are the later stages of diabetes that are not under control, that are poorly managed. And just to say this, a lot of us think we are taking our blood sugar pills or we are taking our insulin injection, and we think that is all about it. What are we eating is very important. You could take your medication in one hand and eat wrongly.
Hold there, Doc. We have a call on the line, so we're going to go to the call. Good evening, you're on Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, good evening to everybody at the panel.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for the doctor.
Go right ahead.
I know diabetes it has some degenerations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, no, I have my concern, question to ask. And I have the young people more in mind, the young people. Can someone diet produce diabetes down the road with them as a young person? Can it create diabetes in that person?
He's asking if a young person, if the diet can create diabetes in them.
No, of course, absolutely.
Of course, absolutely.
If this young person is actually not eating right, eating junk and all that, that's where lifestyle comes in. And this is that category of diabetes we call the type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And this
Okay, but that's one of my biggest concerns now, because I have an opportunity to be around a lot of young people.
Yes.
And I wish I can get information, try to share with them, so they can, help them to, do right choices, make right choices.
We'll call it. If you call is the only call we get tonight, is the most important call, because that is the message that we're trying to get across.
Okay.
That just by changing your lifestyle, you could take your life off of a path of going towards diabetes and other complications.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern right now for the young people that I deal with,
Mm-hmm.
And I have children too, so I need to know these kind of stuff. So, is there any information I can get from any of the health departments, booklets, or that kind of stuff?
Bring everybody out to the Positive Action
on Saturday to the Health Expo.
Okay.
Come out.
Noah Lloyd Park.
Bring everybody.
Okay.
Bring all those young people you're talking about.
Sure. What time would that be?
It's going to be from 7 a.m. in the morning until 2.
Okay, so I can do that.
Yes, right. Please do.
Okay, thank you all.
And encourage some more people to come.
No problem with that. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you too.
Mm-hmm. There you go. We're in touch with the community. And that was a good
I think
call.
that's a very good question, and we can't say children are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
When all these things are actually happening to them, yeah. And we cannot at this point try and introduce the right measures and make sure that they don't go in that path. Like I said earlier, passionately, the people I've seen in the last year are people in their 40s,
yes,
with serious debilitating diabetic issues. Mm-hmm. Some have gone blind from diabetes, mm-hmm. And what do you expect of them at 40?
Yes.
I mean, everybody is hoping to get to 70,
yes,
and their sight is terminated at 40. What is left of them? Mm-hmm. Frustration sets in, a lot of mental issues sets in.
Yes. So it's also a tax on society, because we have to look after those persons instead of them being a contributing member of the society. Mm-hmm. Then it becomes a liability,
exactly,
on the society. So we have to encourage, and while we're at it, we might as well encourage exercise as well, mm-hmm. Because lifestyle change, good healthy diet, and good exercise are some of the things that will prevent most of the problems that we see in the community.
We will be having a dietitian at the Health Expo also.
As well. Good.
So they will be able to, take your body mass index, mm-hmm. tell you if you're overweight based on your height, and suggest, a diet that is suitable for you if you are found to be overweight. So, it's really going to be a comprehensive Health Expo, and we invite everyone to come out. And again, the emphasis is on that it's free. It's free of charge to you. We fundraise all year to be able to give back to the community in these types of ways. Yeah. So we look forward to seeing you all there on Saturday.
Some of the tests that's going to be done, we're going to have HIV/AIDS, urinology. We're going to have breast exam, pap smear. I see we have diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, basic vision exam. There's so many of them. We're going to have a nutritionist, a herbalist. We're going to take measurements. We're going to talk about exercise.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be good. It's from 7 a.m. in the morning until 2 p.m. Like I was saying earlier, persons who work during the week and don't necessarily find the time to do this type of thing can also look at it as a time when they can, find some time for themselves. Bring a family member, bring some elderly person that you have in the community that may not be getting the type of service that they need on a regular basis. Bring them to the Health Expo, because it's an opportunity to mingle and talk with health professionals as well. Just by speaking sometimes you can discover a lot of things about yourself. So I think I'm trying really hard to let everyone out in our community know that this thing is being put on by the Rotary Club of Rotown. It's a health and cultural expo, and it's absolutely free. There's no charge for any of the services that are going to be offered on Saturday, February 23rd, 2013.
That's right.
All right. So now you have anything else you want to expand on? We talked a bit about our Rotary Fellowship, and we spoke about the fact that we're having the first district conference in Tortola later on in the year, and it's going to be led by our good district governor in the name of Vance Lewis, who I think this is the first time that we have a district governor from the Virgin Islands, so that's a plus in our area, and we are looking forward to inviting people to our shows and treating them the way they treat us when we go to their shows. I personally have been to a number of district conferences. I know you have been to a few yourself.
Yes, I have.
And we're going to encourage the good doctor to do the same. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie. You meet a lot of interesting people. We meet people in the same professions that we have. We meet people from all walks of life, so to speak.
Yes, we do. And it's a Rotary activity. However, it's going to be held in Tortola, and we want to invite the BVI community out to fellowship with us.
To be a part of it. Yes. It's not some elitist group who are holding this meeting and nobody else is allowed to come. It's actually for the community, and it's also something to expose BVI culture and BVI ways to our guests who are going to come here, because whenever I attend Rotary Conference, that's one of the things that's really emphasized, that the country, the host country, and in this case, we are the host country. We are going to show off what we have, all of what we have, all music or dance or nightlife, everything that we have, we're going to showcase to our guests. So hospitality, and we're going to be definitely coming to the community, to have the community be a vital part of this whole celebration. I think I'm excited about it.
I too am excited, and this is in excess of 500 people coming to the Virgin Islands.
Yes,
people that have never been here before.
It's going to boost our economy.
Yeah, it's going to boost our economy. They're going to be shopping in your stores.
It's going to boost our economy.
They're going to be meeting you.
Yeah.
And we want you to put your best foot forward and invite these.
Nona, I have a call. Yeah. Good evening. You're free speaking mind. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, it's me calling back.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just put Mrs. Vanderpool on the spot if she can live up to it. Okay, if I bring my baseball team there, some of the members of the baseball team, they go is 9-12. Would the Rotary allow the good doctor there take out maybe 5 minutes to give the kids a little bit about their business, how they can get it, how they can prevent it also?
Most certainly.
Most certainly. I could have answered that.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
Certainly.
Bring them to it, right?
Bring them.
At least I want to have a little, pull them aside and have a little discussion about it, so they can be aware of it.
Well,
better yet, Carl. I know you. Bring them in the uniform.
Okay, brother. Okay, thank you. I will do that.
Yes, we would definitely be doing that.
Definitely do that. Show some camaraderie. Bring them in the uniform. Force those other teams to bring their members as well.
No, I will do my best. Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's one thing. With on the last show, we were encouraging people to go to the game today against St. Thomas. The baseball team was playing St. Thomas today.
In Tortola?
In Tortola, yes. So I don't know the score.
I wonder what the outcome was.
I don't know the score, but we were encouraging people to support the baseball team. Now I'm asking our viewers out there now to bring those baseball players to the Health Expo on Saturday, the 23rd. So that they can get screened as well for the various things that we're talking about.
But it really starts with education, educating them at that young age.
Yes, to know the choices.
Yes. And then to see the effects if they continue in a certain behavior, what the outcome could potentially be. So
yes,
that's very good.
Yeah. Good evening. You're free to speak your mind. Go right ahead, please.
I'm a spot, so let me call back real quick. The scores were, we played 2 games today.
Okay.
The won the first game 5-4.
Okay.
And the second game was break even at 4-4 because of time.
Okay.
And they had to catch the boat, so the The second game was a draw.
Okay.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you for that information. Yeah. So we up 1. That's good. That's good to know.
We up 1?
Yeah. It's at 5-4. Yeah.
I won't say where I'm happy.
Okay. But that's good to know that that baseball is alive and kicking again as usual, and Terry's there out there doing his best, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure he is.
Yes. So we're still encouraging persons to text or call on the show and find out more about the Health and Cultural Expo that's going to be in the Noah Lloyd Positive Action Park, February 23rd. 2012. You see the information is up there on the screen.
2013.
2013. We're going to have live music, entertainment, food, fun, all of that good stuff you're going to be able to enjoy while you're having your weight checked or your cholesterol measured or your blood pressure measured, etc., etc., etc. And if you have any questions from my guests, please feel free to text or call. We're here. We'll answer all the hard questions. If you want to say anything else, anything.
I just wanted to say a little bit about the Rotary Club of Rotown. Our president this year, like Courtney said, is President Trevor Grant, and we've been in existence since January 7th, 1991.
That's right.
Serving the BVI community. It's been our pleasure to serve you and also partner with you, because a lot of what we do it with your assistance. We come to you, we fundraise from you, but then we give you everything back through, like I said, donations of dialysis machines to the hospital. If you happen to be a dialysis patient, you have access to that equipment. We do these free screenings. We do so many things. We have several adopted schools.
We do the Kiddies Fiesta.
Yes, we do the Kiddies Fiesta
we build playgrounds in the various schools already. We also we clear the path up at Sage Mountain. We do some restoration work at the Mount Healthy Park.
We are not an elitist organization.
No.
We're a community service organization.
We plant a lot of trees
to help our environment.
All those trees you see on that line going on there by Bobby's.
Yes, we planted those trees.
Planting those trees, those palm trees that are on the highway. We planted those palm trees on the highway, although people knock them down from time to time.
We've also done some work in the mangroves.
We work with restoration of mangroves.
Yes.
Yes, we work with the Rotary Club of Tortola with the boardwalk up at Paraquita Bay.
Yes.
We're really out there in the community trying to make a difference. Let's see what the text says. A diet full of fiber and full of greens can help eliminate diabetes and toxin from the body. As somebody that's texting in.
It sure can.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay. But here we're talking again, Doc, if you want to expand a little bit more on lifestyle changes, right? If you're accustomed of, buying a lot of fast food, using a lot of trans fat, and not really balancing your vegetables and your starches and etc. You're going on a wrong
dangerous
path.
road.
A very dangerous road.
Yes.
And there are a lot of stop signs along the way. Okay. So,
I have a predisposition to diabetes because my mother was a diabetic.
Okay.
Her mother was a diabetic.
Okay.
All her siblings were diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to pay careful attention. So that's part of why I'm so interested in, imparting information on the disease and assisting in testing wherever I can, because it can lead to blindness. Do you know what happens when you're blind? You can't see anything.
That's true.
It's just a devastating disease, and whatever we can do to avert the effects of it, then we need to do it.
Yeah, but Doc, also on a high note, though, we can also tell the viewing public out there that a lot of these diseases are manageable.
Not
if you,
and preventable.
And preventable. If you decide, if you as an individual decide to change your lifestyle and to manage your activities, you can live a pretty much normal life.
That's absolutely true. Just to distract a little, we've been talking diabetes. It's just the, how will I put it? It's just the starting engine for a whole lot of other eye conditions.
Yes.
You have cataract.
Yes.
You have glaucoma as well. Then the diabetic proper, which is diabetic retinopathy. And from studies, it's been shown that 60% of cases of diabetes leads to cataract. So people who are coming for cataract think it's just cataract, they probably may have a trace of diabetes somewhere along the line. And then glaucoma, which is another silent, blinding condition of the eyes. These are things that, not just diabetes and all that, but they just somehow result from having the diabetes itself. And we need to, this is why we are really encouraging people to come out for this screening. And if by any reason they are found to have either of them, then they are referred to appropriate specialists to do a more comprehensive examination to get that. And all these things can actually be prevented. In my course of practice, I've had the opportunity to be a little more passionate and compassionate with patients, because some of them, like I said before, it's not just taking the tablets and using the insulin injection. Their diet is completely nothing to write home about.
Yes.
You see somebody who is diabetic still eats, what do you call it, soup. And I just throw a question to them, what is your soup made from? They said some cassava, some, a whole lot of starchy food. And at the end of the day, you're taking the tablets to bring down your sugar, and at the same time you're eating starch to shoot up the sugar with the next hand. So how do you expect the sugar to be controlled? Some of them will just say, Doc, I tried trying to control the sugar, I just wouldn't control. But when you ask them what have they been eating, they have actually not been eating right.
Yes.
This is where lifestyle is really, really important. So,
well, I don't know if you want to just, we may have a little time, you could go into sugars a little bit, like a breakdown of sugar. Because some people, I don't think them in, well, we're going to have to take a break. I see we're going to have to take a break. So we're going to hold that thought, Doc, and we're going to come right back to that issue when we come back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're right back with you. We're having such a good time here. The time is flying by so quickly. I have Nona Vanderpool here with me and Dr. Ogai here with me. So we're having a very healthy discussion, not just about diabetes, but all the other health issues that we're having in the community that we're trying to address. And we're having this health expo on Saturday, February 23rd, from 7 a.m. in the morning until 2. Bring a family member, bring a friend, bring someone that you care about. Bring the children.
A co-worker.
Bring a co-worker. Call your neighbor. How that sounds?
That sounds great.
Okay, good.
We had a few texts that came in.
Right.
You want to address those?
Yeah. One of the texts that came in spoke about the Sister Islands. Okay, good night. What about the diabetic and the children who are potential diabetic patients in the 9th district do they have to pay a boat? Do they have to pay a boat to be exposed to this vital knowledge that this good doctor and learned lady will share with the people of Tortola? Well, as it is right now, no, you could take that question and let's see. We're hoping that one of these days we can go back to at least Virgin Gorda. We were in Virgin Gorda one time already with the same expo, and we're hoping to share with the greater Virgin Islands, as I like to call it, which is from Anegada to Josh Van Dyke. But as it is right now, if you're going to attend the one on Saturday, you will have to come to Tortola to attend it. But in the future, we'll have to look into that. No.
Actually, we have done it on Virgin Gorda, like Courtney said, and we've done it on Josh Van Dyke. We've never done it on Anegada, but we are working towards doing that. When we did it in Virgin Gorda initially, it wasn't very well attended. I'm not sure why. Maybe we didn't get the word out on time. But we definitely want to bring the information to the entire BBI. So we will be working on that, and in any way, if there's any way you can assist us in doing so, we'd be happy to have your assistance.
Okay. I had a couple of other texts. Somebody texted and said let us all look into consideration the cows that never go to the doctor, they never see the dentist, and they're always walking to get their food. That's a form of exercise. It's amazing that they gain pounds when they give birth. Let's look and learn. Food for thought. No.
Yes, food for thought.
Exercise is definitely important. I mean, you can't stress enough that exercise is very important. We have another text here. Well, Sam will come on later in the show. We have another good evening. What diet is good for good cholesterol, and what is good for bad cholesterol? I don't know if you want to.
I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Ogay.
Good and bad cholesterol.
Well, basically, I'm an optometrist first of all. I'm not really a dietitian, but we know that a lot of these oil and fatty foods are not really so healthy for people who have cholesterol, and we will really encourage you to desist away from so many frying foods and foods that you have to fry with a lot of oil and all that. It's completely not really healthy. And this is another reason why you really need to make out time and come for the Health Expo, because we have a nutritionist who is going to be on ground to really educate us in all these health conditions and what we need to eat, how we can eat right and live well.
I think one of the things we need to mention, as really bad, for cholesterol is the chicken skins that we eat, the fried chicken skins. You always hear that that's not really good. Usually when they put you on a diet, you eat chicken breast with no skin. So that's a no-no. It tastes good, but it's a no-no.
I've seen in the news too that McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all of them are saying now too that they stop using trans fat when they're frying. And trans fat is man-made fat. It's not a natural fat, and I
think it's hydrogenated oil. Right. They add hydrogen atoms to it, and that's not. And
it causes a lot of other problems as well.
Yes, it does.
So we need to know that our supermarkets and our restaurants and all of them are really working with the community as well to ensure that we get healthy people. More health.
Just to say, I've been to a couple of eateries. I don't want to mention names and all that.
Yes.
And of course, you go and buy maybe chicken and all that. Sometimes this chicken are, apart from not well prepared, they taste like they still taste fresh.
Yes.
And you know that probably this chicken is not well grown or well developed.
Yes.
And they were probably pumped up with chemical and
yes.
That is just the whole garbage we eat.
we as a community, we have to take responsibility and be, and scrutinize things that we eat more carefully. I agree with that, but I was mentioning that the other people in the community, I think, have a responsibility as well to ensure that we have a healthy set of people in the community, and that we're able to do the things that healthy people do.
I think we need to look to growing our own food too. That's an option.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a serious option. Our forefathers did it. My grandparents did it. They lived well into their 90s, and they seemed very healthy up until that time.
Okay.
So it's not a bad idea.
So yes,
just to add quickly, we are talking about screening, and trying to attend to this problem. A lot of the specialty treatments for these end-stage diabetes and all whatnot, they are not on the island,
Okay.
So many patients we have to refer out of the island to get specialty attention.
Yes. And it's also
for example,
a high cost.
like people have had, a lot of people have come with retinal detachment, for example, that you really can't do on the island, that we had to refer them out of the island. So why do we really wait to that point where this problem gets really bad and we start looking for where to go, where to travel to? Some of us don't even have the funds to do that.
Yes.
And this whole boils down on the system, the government, and quite a number of people don't have insurance to cater for this.
Yes, it's a burden on the whole community. It becomes a burden on the whole community. That's true. So early detection and early screening is definitely what the Rotary Club of Rotown is pushing, and we're going to have a team. I'm stressing team, a team of professional people who are going to be out there. We have a number of people who are sponsoring. We have the BVI Nurses Association, Peebles Hospital, the BNF Medical, the 2020 Vision. It's a whole team of people that are going to be out there, and as I said at the beginning of the show, and we continue to say throughout the show, it's going to be absolutely free. There's going to be no charge to anyone. So
we've invited the Pharmacists Association, and the role I see them playing is there are a lot of people who have medications. They're not certain how to take the medication. If you bring in medications that they can assist you in determining how to take it, when to take it. And there are some people who are diabetics. They have these glucose monitors, but they don't necessarily know how to use them properly. Bring them with you that day, and we will show you how to use it properly, so that you can get the most accurate results and help you with your disease.
Well, we put it out there, Doc and Nona.
It's free. It's this Saturday, February 23rd.
The location is the Noah Lloyd Positive Action Park.
That's the day after my birthday.
That's the day after your birthday.
Friday is my birthday, coming out Saturday, so y'all got to come.
I have to tell you happy birthday in advance before I forget.
Thank you. I normally don't tell people where my birthday is.
But you know what I mean?
But people really need to come out on Saturday. Come out, and we're starting at 7 o'clock because there are people who have to go to work. You can get tested early. We don't want you to eat so that when you test your sugar, it's a fasting, result. So we're going to start very early. So come out early if you have to go to work. Don't miss it. We're going to be wrapping up around 2 o'clock. But if there are stragglers, we definitely will take you anyway. Because we are here to serve. That's what Rotary is. That's what Rotary does. Service above self is our motto, and this is just one way that we serve.
Yep. So, Nona, to mention some of the people again, right? The BNF Medical Complex,
yes.
BVI Nurses Association, Peebles Hospital, BVI Diabetics Association, Totola Vision Center, BVI Cancer Society, BVI Red Cross, University of the Virgin Islands, and the whole Rotary family. When I say the whole Rotary family, we're starting with OLIAC, Interac, Rotarac, Rotary. all the organizations that fall under the umbrella of Rotary. And Nona, if we may add, Rotarians are a group of people. It's an international organization. We have over 1.2 million members.
You sure ain't 1.2 billion?
1.2 million members
worldwide.
And in a number of countries in the world. I mean, from all continents of the world. So it's an organization that primarily involved in service about self, putting service first in the community. And this year's challenge for us as Rotarians is peace through service. So we're looking at ways that we can encourage more peace in the world rather than war and conflict, and you know, going in that direction rather than going towards peace. Another big Rotary program is the Polio Plus program, and we're well on our way to eradicating polio from in the world. And that is something that we'll spend millions of dollars on by a simple addition of a small droplet in a child's mouth to help the fight against polio. Polio is a crippling disease, and we have very few countries in the world still have polio, and one of our goals is to totally eradicate polio from the globe. So we're going to pretty much wrap up now with our sessions that we're having with this health and the Rotary Club of Rotown Health and Cultural Expo, and we're going to leave some thoughts with our viewing audience before we go. So any thoughts we want to leave with them about the expo, about screening, about diabetes, about how this can be a life-changing effect. Coming out on Saturday, February 23rd, between 7 and 2 p.m. in the afternoon. How this life-changing experience can benefit our entire community. Let's leave some lasting words with them, with the audience.
Okay, I think first of all, the whole expo is basically free, and we are just using this opportunity to encourage people to come out and get themselves screened. So that once you can detect any of these problems that we have so far mentioned at an earlier stage, it will help you to manage them properly, more adequately, and then find means to go about your normal life. And this has really helped, and a lot of people are who have actually tapped into this screening done in the past year have actually benefited from this, and I'm sure that this year is going to be another opening for those who feel somewhat stigmatized to go and get themselves screened.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nona?
Well, I would just like to reiterate what Dr. Ogai has said. We really would like you to come out on Saturday for this free testing. We're in a 13th year of the testing, and what has really been beneficial about it is that there were a couple years when we tested individuals, and on at least 3 different occasions we had to take individuals to the hospital because their readings were so high. So we know the testing is of benefit. We want you to come out. We know these are very difficult and challenging economic times, and it is our pleasure to offer this free testing to you on behalf of President Treffer and the Rotary Club of Rotown and the BVI Rotary community, period. It's our pleasure, and we hope to see you on Saturday.
Well, what I would have to say now is tell a friend, tell a family member, tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your uncle, tell somebody. Tell them to come out on Saturday, February 23rd, from 7 until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. However you have to get there, get there. And I really think for the elderly people in the community that if they don't have any transportation, take them, bring them to the park. It's free, and it's also meaningful because there are a number of areas that will be tested. You see up on the screen we have up there, we have a number of areas that testing will be, and one of our main things that we're doing, let's stop diabetes in its tracks. And you know, you can see the 4 areas that we're going to be concerned with that are up there on the screen, and it covers a lot of area. And as Nona was saying, there are usually lines for the different services. So the earlier you get there, you know, you just go on your line and wait your turn, and everything works like clockwork. There's not really any long waiting periods. It's just that you have to do one after the. Oh, and don't forget, don't bother to have that big breakfast. Okay, don't have that big breakfast before you come. You want to fast the day before you come, you know, so that you know you can get your proper screening done. Especially your cholesterol and.
Actually, they can eat the night before.
They can eat the night before.
But when you wake up in the morning, do not eat.
When you wake up in the morning,
come and get tested.
Don't eat any sugar.
Right. We will
don't put any sugar in your system.
Right. We will have some light refreshments after you're tested.
Right.
But don't eat anything when you wake up. Just come straight to the Noah Park, get tested.
Yeah.
And then you can have something to eat or drink.
Mm-hmm. And also we're going to have music and live entertainment and some performances as well during the activity.
Yes, we're supposed to have Showtime Band from 11 to 2.
Okay.
And we have a DJ.
You were saving the best for last.
Yes. And yes, we're going to have presenters in between the music. So it should be very entertaining. It's just not a health fair, you know, it's a health and cultural exposition. So we have some culture in there for you as well.
We may add, it's an activity for the entire family.
Yes.
Okay? You can bring the kids, you can bring the elderly people, bring everybody, and you know, come out and as the good doctor was saying too, whatever is being done confidential. Okay, if you see someone that has to deal with blood pressure, it's confidential. Diabetes, all the services are being offered confidentially. Okay, so
and free of charge.
And free of charge. And it's a team of professional people. I want to stress that because some people may say, you know, oh, it's just a Rotary Club putting on this thing, but no, it's
a Rotary Club of Rotown partnering with several other organizations
to
make this.
And these are the same organizations that are in this community fighting this fight every day. So we're using a professional approach, and again I must say all of this is being done under our good president Trevor Grant, and he is well on his way to taking us through to a full year of activities in the Rotary Club of Rotown. And Trevor, I want to say right now that we are enjoying it so far.
Yes, we are. We certainly are. Yeah. Especially since this year we have our first district governor.
Yes.
From the BVI.
Yes, the Mr. Vance Lewis. And who will be leading us in the first ever district conference in our territory. And we're definitely looking forward to that. We're looking forward to showing off what the BVI has to offer.
Yes. And happy birthday to Rotary. Like I said, we'll be 108 years come Saturday, February 23rd.
Yeah. So this is also a big activity for us because we're having a service activity. Rotary is about service, and we're having a service activity
on our birthday.
On Rotary's birthday. So we're going 108. We're going to have fun.
Yes. Come out and enjoy.
Yeah, come out and enjoy. We still have a couple minutes left, or we're going to have to take a break. We're going to take a break for the sponsors that make the show possible, and then we're going to come right back with you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you. We're here talking about the Health and Cultural Expo put on by the Rotary Club of Rotown. That's going to happen on February 23rd, next Saturday, at the
Noah Lloyd Park.
Noah Lloyd Positive Action Park. And we have the information up on the screen for you to look at. Music, entertainment, food, and fun. We used to have a district governor who used to say, whatever we're doing, let it be fun. So we're going to have that fun aspect of it. Again, we're inviting you to bring out all the people that you could bring out, the elderly, the young, people who may not have any transportation, drive around and pick up. Bring a loved one, bring someone you care about. It's going to be free health screening, and the key word there is free health screening. It's not really free in the word as free. We the Rotary Club and the service organization and other professional people who are partnering with us, they are absorbing the cost. So when I say free, it's free to the people who are receiving the screening. But believe me, it is not free. It costs a lot of money. If you look at the manpower and the number of hours that are going to be put into it, or have been put into it already, because there's the planning and all that stuff that went into it already. So there's a lot of money put into this thing, especially for you, the people of these Virgin Islands. So don't let it go to waste. Please don't let it go to waste. You come out and support and take advantage of this opportunity. Get tested, find out about yourself. It only can better your life. And as the doctor was saying, if you know more about your condition now, you may have another 30, 40 more productive years. So don't throw that away. Don't take it lightly. Take my advice. Take the Castro advice. Come out and be a part of this expo. It's going to be phenomenal. Am I on board when I say it's going to be phenomenal?
It will be phenomenal.
It will be phenomenal. It's a team. It's a team of people who are putting this thing together. It's not an individual. It's not one organization. It's a lot of people. It's the health services are going to be there. The BVI Nurses Association are right there with us. The BNF Medical Complex, the Tatola Vision Center, BVI Cancer Society, the Red Cross, the BVI Red Cross, the University of the Virgin Islands. And let me pause at the University of the Virgin Islands. In the University of the Virgin Islands, we have a good colleague there, Dale Martin. He's going to come and talk about all these chemicals that we use in and around the household, and he's going to say what effect they have in the various ways they're being used and the various portions that they're being used in. And I think it's an eye-opener. It's healthy to know what these chemicals are capable of doing for us, and what is the correct way to use these chemicals. I think some of them brought up in a way where we use a lot of things. We use Lysol, we use Dettol, we use Clorox, we use a number of chemicals, and some of them, if you use them in the wrong proportions, they can be just as harmful as the good they're intended to do. So, Nona, I think it's very good that we're able to convince him, and the herbalist that's coming as well. We're going to have an herbalist coming and talking about what we call alternative ways of dealing with some of the health issues we may have. So, all in all, this is being put on for the community at large, the whole Virgin Islands community, and it's happening on Saturday, February 23rd. In the Noah Lloyd Positive Action Park. The way it's going to work is there are going to be a number of stations, a number of tents set up all in the park. And also the businesses that I mentioned to you that are in the close vicinity to the park, they are also going to be using their premises as well. And it's usually, I've been there a couple of times well myself, Nona, and it's usually an activity filled with hype, because you have people ensuring that they get to one station and then they go to the next station and then they go to the next station to make sure that they complete the amount of different tests that they try to do in a short period of time. So it seems to me like it's a lot of fun. And
Actually, it's usually a lot of fun because the Rotarians also help the health professionals. Like we would do, the writing while they're doing the testing. The testing.
Yes.
We're recording the results.
Yes.
We're assisting them with that, and it's a lot of fun. It's an opportunity for us to fellowship and just get to hang out with each other, in a less formal setting. So that's usually a lot of fun. We're going to be doing the pap smears and the urinalysis exams over at BNF, and they have been so gracious every year to allow us to use their facilities. We just want to make sure that we don't take over the whole their whole establishment. They usually let us use a couple rooms, so we will stick to the rooms that they allow us to use and not interfere with their regular operations. So we just like to ask everybody's cooperation in making that happen. And you were talking about Mr. Dale Morton. It didn't take a lot of convincing to get him here. He was very excited about coming over and having the opportunity to share that information because he knows how important and vital it is to our existence.
Hold that thought, Nona. Yeah. Good evening. You've reached Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good night. I must say it's a great show, but I just want to ask what time would that expo be starting?
It's going to be starting at 7 a.m. in the morning and it will go on about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
Don't forget to come.
We won't.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the information for the expo is up there. It says Saturday, the 23rd of February, 2013, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And as Nona was saying, if people are there after 2, we'll probably be obliged to continue until we get rid of the people that are there. So
not get rid of them.
Well, not process them.
Yes, process them. Have them tested.
Have them tested and have them go through the routines of I might have used a bad word. not realizing that that different people want different services.
True.
So it's a little bit different than just coming and taking one service and you leave.
Right. So we'll definitely be willing to accommodate you.
That's important to point. That's important to point out to Nona, to tell people if you're planning to have more than one service, you should queue up for the various services that you want to have.
And the longest lines, like I said, are usually blood glucose and cholesterol. So if you want those tests, you got to come a little early so that you can get it all done.
And there will be Rotarians there to assist persons in many ways, as well as assisting with the health professionals that are going to be there working. So if you see a Rotarian there, you could just ask them a question. Ask them any question you want. Anything about a health expo, they'll be there on hand, able and willing to assist you in any way possible.
And we need to thank, thank the community, because it's because you so graciously support our activities is why we're able to give back to you in this manner and several other ways. It's because of you.
Definitely, when we're out there raising funds, whether it's a car raffle or a Christmas raffle or any of the activities that we do, when we're out there doing that, all the funds that we collect from that activity goes right back into the community. The way our organization is set up, there's a division between what we can do with funds that we get from the community and what we can do with funds that we raise among ourselves. The funds that we raise among ourselves, we can use that in one way, but the funds that we collect from the community must go back into the community. And this has been, so we're a club now of some 20-something years, since 1991, I think it was. 1991, so we're way up there, over 20 years, and we've been doing it strong, and I think we can definitely say with the new members that are coming in now, Nona, that we'll be expanding to even new and brighter areas.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Dr. Oga is one of our newer members,
and
he comes with a wealth of expertise and
yes,
and a willingness to serve. Yes,
willing to serve,
willingness to serve.
And I might make a pitch for the club right now as well. If there are members out there in the community, if there are people out there hearing my voice in the community, and you're community minded and you want to join a service organization, talk to a Rotarian.
Yes, because we do have a membership drive coming up.
We have a membership drive
coming up, and we will be having orientation on March 16th. So if you're interested,
look for a Rotarian and get your information to that Rotarian. And when I say we know, any one of us, any Rotarian will tell you more about Rotary, tell you about the commitments, tell you about the service organization, the length and breadth of the organization, and see if you're really interested in it. And then, once you've been invited by a Rotarian, then, there's a procedure that you will go through, and then, you either be accepted or not.
But you must be willing to serve. You must be willing to serve. That's the underlying.
The main principle behind Rotary is service above self. So if you're service oriented, but it's known at one time one Rotarian in St. Croix, Mr. Richard, who used to be here with the Barclays Bank, he said to me, Richard Grant. He said Rotary is about planting trees that you or your children may not sit under. No, but he was making the point that it's a community-based organization, and the things that you do, you may not individually benefit from the things that you do, but
the wider community
benefits from the things that we do, which is
that's what's important.
Which is what is important.
Yes.
Well, I think on another note, trying to narrow it down, why are we really doing this Health Expo? Is something we thought about, because we are trying to really get out there to the public.
Yes.
So that those who probably may be afflicted with any of these conditions that are listed here will not turn to be either a personal liability to themselves, a family liability, or a liability to the system. Because the earlier you detect you have a problem with your health, the better it is for you to be able to manage it adequately. But once you don't tap into things like this, because you have financially challenged, that's why this is coming free. And we realize that there are some people who are financially challenged. Right. That's why we are coming out to give them this opportunity. We are trying to reduce the number of dialysis we have to be donating to the hospitals by letting people more conscious of their health. That is why this health screening and reducing. I mean, you always see an advert on TV, energy bulb, LED energy bulb, and all that. What is that? The system is trying to conserve the resources that is being spent. So it's the same way we are trying to cut down on the number of dialysis we have to be donating to the hospital.
Exactly.
So early detection, and is usually gotten by all the screening, like Ms. Nona mentioned earlier. In the last screening, Health Expo they did, some people had to be rushed to the hospital because there are so many people walking on the street who don't even know the status of their health.
Right.
So I think it's really, really important for us to really embrace this.
Well, Doc and Nona, I don't know if you realize it, but we're really pretty advanced in our presentation tonight, so we're going to have to recap some of the things that we were able to talk about. Of course, the main topic we were discussing is the Health and Cultural Expo, February 23rd, 2013, and of course it's being put on by the Rotary Club of Rotown and the whole entire Rotary family, from the Oliac clubs, the Interact clubs, the Rotaract, and Rotary clubs. Of course, we have quite a few Rotary clubs now. We have the Rotary Club of Rotown, the Rotary Club of Tortola, and the Rotary Sunrise
of
Rotown. So we have quite a few clubs and members who are willing. The key word there is willing to serve. So it should be a good activity. And of course, the families and friends of Rotarians who are also welcome to come out and and be a part of this very important health and cultural expo. It will be one of those activities that will go down in the history of these islands, I'm pretty sure. We talked about the type 2 and type 1 diabetes, and we discussed lifestyle changes and diet. And you also mentioned that we were seeing people around the age of 40 being affected mostly, but it seems like that things are changing, and we have to throw the net, so to speak. We have to throw that safety net a bit wider now, to try to include much more people, so that we do that early
detection.
Yeah, early detection and dialysis, so that diagnosis. So that you catch on to what's happening earlier rather than later, and less expensive in the beginning rather than more expensive in the end. We're going to have a number of services, the cholesterol, blood pressure, basic vision examination, diabetes, weight gain, weight measurement, height, body mass measurement, a number of services, breast examination, pap smear. Some of these services, I'm pretty sure the viewing audience out there will be interested in. So, come out and take advantage. Take advantage of these services while they're being offered. Bring the kids. I keep saying bring the kids.
Bring the family.
Bring the entire family. Bring an elderly person. Bring somebody in the community who you care about. We're also going to have Mr. Dale Martin from the University of the Virgin Islands. He's going to make a presentation, and we're also going to have a presentation from an herbalist who's going to tell us about alternative ways of taking care of some of the problems that we may have as health issues. Again, Nona, this is the 108th anniversary of the Rotary Club of International, and we are the Rotary Club of Roadtown, the Rotary Club of Tortola, Rotary Sunrise. We are all part of this international body, which is going to be 108 years old on February 23rd. So we are looking forward to celebrating with the community. And our way of celebrating with the community is by serving the community. So it's an excellent win-win situation for us.
Yes, it is.
We're going to be winning, and the community is going to be winning when they receive the services that we offer. We were able to explain a bit about some of the intricacies of some of the diseases that we spoke about on the show tonight, but please don't let it end there. Remember, you can always check with the various healthcare professionals in our community. You can come out to the Health Expo, and if all of that fails, you can always go to your own private healthcare professional and get more information on all of the information that we were talking about tonight. I think we had a very informative and very upfront and productive show tonight. My guest was very good. I had some very good response back from the texts and questions that we got on the telephone. So all in all, we had a very good show. I must commend my guests. They were very good tonight, Nona and the good doctor. So on that note, I'm going to say God bless these Virgin Islands and the people that live in it, and you'll see me again next week.